no, I lotioned in the car. Can't have ashy hands. Yeah, ashy hands in the cut. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm being interrogated.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons.
My name is Keisha Booker. I am a singer-songwriter from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I am the curator of Soul Supreme. I've kind of been in music my entire life. My parents were musicians. My mom was a singer and a pianist. And I kind of just always sang. She taught me piano. I took lessons for a while. I was like a band nerd. I played saxophone and clarinet. And I was in choir. And then eventually I just got into being a solo artist. I kind of have always done music. I started songwriting probably around 12. And honestly, I wasn't really a songwriter. I would just be in the studio with my parents, bored out of my mind, and I would just pretend that I could write. So I started writing to try and contribute to their songs. And then eventually, as I decided to become a solo artist, I started to write my own songs. I feel like I never really wrote a good song until I was like 20 though. I feel like I'm a person that writes from experience, and I wasn't able to I don't know, collect experience enough to express it until I was 20. Or maybe I was just in my head, I don't know. I performed in Toronto, New York. I did a honey jam in Toronto years and years ago. I actually was in Spain recently. I moved to Spain and I was doing music out there. I was part of a professional gospel choir called Gospel Factory. And the music scene and R&B scene out there is crazy, and I did not expect that. It was really amazing, actually. There's a lot of singers. There's a lot of R&B singers out there. You'll walk into a place and someone will be, a live music venue, and someone will be killing Erykah Badu, or D'Angelo, and it's a whole band, and then you go and talk to them to be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, and they won't even speak English. So I just didn't expect that. So that was a surprise. I would definitely say I grew the most as a musical artist living in Spain, because adapting to the culture, adapting to the language, and going somewhere that far and still being able to be an artist and comfortable with who you are, and adapt to just the environment really helped me work on myself and my artistry, for sure. I got into R&B honestly because of my mom. She was an R&B singer, and she was obsessed with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and Lauryn Hill, and in terms of gospel artists, it'd be like CeCe Winans and Yolanda Adams and Deborah Cox, and she would play that in the house on the weekends. Saturdays, early morning, it was gospel music and R&B music, and I just loved it. Kelly Price and listening to those types of artists. So it was never really a choice. It was just what it was. I've always been in that genre. I've always been exposed to that type of music. So, and I love it. So I think that heart and soul make a good R&B artist. The ability to connect and emote through your words, through your lyrics, through how you perform. Because R&B was originally created to express the times, the times that Black artists were going through, and I really think that that's just what makes powerful music in general, the ability to just, express yourself authentically through it. Music for me is honestly the soundtrack of my life. If I'm happy, I'm playing a song. I got a playlist for every mood. If I'm happy, I got a playlist. If I'm sad, I got a playlist. If I want to turn up, I got a playlist. I feel like music, for me, music is the soundtrack. I need music at all times. Soul Supreme was started because there were no places in Winnipeg that catered to R&B, really. And We really just wanted to create a space that we would want to come to. You know, it's really a space created for R&B lovers by R&B lovers. And especially for me as a singer, if I wanted to perform at a space, like perform at a showcase, it was generally hip hop showcases, which is cool. But there was just no spaces that solely catered to the R&B demographic. So it really just started off as us creating something that we would want to go to and be at, and then years later, we're still here. For me, Soul Supreme it's an intention, it's a vibe, it's like a labor of love. It's supposed to be a space that caters to community and bridging the gap between community, culture, and art and creativity. So it's just a platform we provide a platform for creatives to express themselves. Every week there's a different DJ, every week there's a different performer. And R&B is such a vast genre, there's such variety within it. So a lot of the creatives that are involved with the brand, they express a different aspect of R&B. Like we have Zuki, for example, who's one of the DJs, and he's gonna play like fire B-sides. He's gonna play like the eclectic music and mix it with the popular music as well, but that's more his vibe, and he's really creative, and that's really dope. And then we have like Matt Henry, and he's gonna play more of the '90s music. You know what I mean? Like that's his vibe. So I really like the variety that the DJs and the artists involved provide. Yeah, the whole point of Soul Supreme is community. It really is to create a place for whether you are a creator or you just love R&B. It's really to create a space where everybody can go and connect. We have people that have been coming to Soul Supreme damn near every Wednesday since 2016. And there's people in the dance community that come and they use that as a space to just express themselves. There's people that come and they just want to vibe in the corner, drink a little bit of wine. There are people that come and they bring their girlfriend or boyfriend over to just experience the vibes. And then there are people that are obviously involved as creatives. It's just a space, a hub, and I feel like that's really important in Winnipeg and really lacking, and we wanted to just fill that gap. We'd like to expand Soul Supreme into an artist collective that houses creatives, that houses DJs, that houses artists, and just provides a platform to support creatives, specifically in the R&B genre. We'd also like to expand nationally and internationally, doing one-offs in different cities and eventually doing festivals. That's the goal. Being a part of history is important, and creating Soul Supreme and the community that goes along with it is important to me. Especially being in the city of Winnipeg, it's easy to talk about what is not there and complain, about what is not there. And for me, it's instead of complaining about it, just be the change you want to see, to be cliche, and just create that space, because usually, if you're really passionate about something and you want to create something, you will usually attract people that feel exactly the same. And I feel, just operating in that space is what can create beautiful spaces for community.